The Independent Contractor Tax Designation. Chapter 1. Independent Contractors. Independent Contractors 1. The IRS has specific requirements that you must meet in order for you to be considered an independent contractor. Get IRS Publication 1779 Independent Contractor or Employee. Independent contractors can be anyone who opens for just about any manner of business including home businesses and is then hired by both individuals and businesses to sew a specific job for a set fee. They work on a per-job basis. For businesses, it's a clean way to get work done without the hassles that come with employees. Full-time employees can be a lot of hassles. They get set in their complacent ways on the job. They're often overpaid and have legal protections should you try to get rid of them either because they're incompetent or you're forced to downsize due to a slowing market. Then there's pension, health coverage, social security, workers' compensation, vacation time, etc. The new trend among big and small businesses alike is simply to hire independent contractors and temps when and as required to do the job at hand. This way, they know they're not permanent. You have no loyalties to them. They have to prove themselves every time they work for you, otherwise they're gone. You're saving money while having the flexibility to hire workers only when and as you need them without them griping. For example, if you've got a full-time staff, they expect to work shift work 5 days a week, but what if you need them on the weekend or night time? Contractors provide the knowledge, experience, and labor to perform their job without the additional costs of recruiting and training. This gives companies greater flexibility and can reduce their overall costs. Businesses are not limited to the people in their own city or town, nor do they have to pay someone to relocate. They can hire good independent contractors regardless of where they live. Even though you, as a business owner, might like the idea of hiring independent contractors, some of your managers might not. It's your job to change their viewpoints by focusing on the results as the bottom line. A possible disadvantage of hiring an independent contractor is that he could get to know some of your trade secrets and methods of doing business, then use these ideas when your competition hires him. Independent contractors could use subcontractors. It should be no skin off your ass as long as you get what you want, a good final product. In essence, contract workers make life simple for you, the employer. They're paid straight up, get no benefits, and you don't have to bother much with government regulations regarding them. You don't have to worry about work rules from the Department of Labor or whether to hire salaried or hourly employees. You tell them what to do, they do it, and you pay them for the job, not by the hour. They're already supposed to know what to do, not like a new employee who you have to train and who might quit, because that's when most people quit, within the first few years of working for somebody, so then you have to start all over again and train a new employee. If you find good temps, you can hire them on your own as independent contractors or under the table workers who come in for a straight fee off the tax books, or even on them whenever you need them. Companies usually find independent contractors through the local grapevine in their field, often former employees or employees for competitive firms who go it alone and are now looking for business, or moonlighters who work their trade at a full-time job then work some more on the side. As an independent contractor, unless you get a few big, regular contracts, a lot of your time will be spent hustling to get your name out there and find new business. Potential clients might refuse you the first time, but if you plant the seed into them that you will do the overflow when they get busy and leave them your business card, then prove yourself on the first contract. This is most likely the usual ticket into regular contracting work for a company. From an independent contractor's point of view, the big advantage is being your own boss, running your own business, in charge of your own destiny. Independent contractors are people in business for themselves, so they're that much more motivated than some guy who works for you who chats by the coffee pot every day, stretches it out because he knows he's in there for 8 hours regardless of how good, fast or slow he is. When you hire an independent contractor, check them out by giving them small jobs first. See how good they really are. Set the rules on both reporting to you the status of the job regularly and offer incremental payments, a down payment, some money when you see some results, and a final payment after you get the final product and are satisfied with it. If your contractors are dealing with your customers, treat them as employees in the way you want them to represent your company without violating your IRS independent contractor status. As far as copyrights go, the hiring party automatically owns all copyrights, but you must both sign a contract stating that the work is made for hire. If you hire a graphic artist to draw a picture for you, you will typically offer him a flat fee and put it in a contract. If you take this picture, make it into a poster and sell millions of copies, he's not entitled to any of that money. You own the copyright. You paid him in what was a fair deal at the time. You can sell it over and over again. Make up a definite price list. When you deliver the completed product, ask for the pay if it's in person by giving the guy your invoice. If it's by mail, include an invoice with it that says they owe you the money right now. Get internet telephone and a toll-free number if doing long-distance contracting. Become an expert on talking on the phone and sending emails, since they will probably be your major forms of communication with clients. Get a website, put it on your local community freenet. Go to trade shows and pass your business card around. Send off direct mail pieces to companies who might hire you. Try hashtag 658.041 or HD2365 at the library. Independent contractors too. Freelancers are generally independent contractors who, in effect, run their own business and do piecework for others, i.e., specific jobs, and that's it. They get none of the benefits regular employees get, like health insurance, vacation pay, pension, etc. Some people gain enough skill in some field to succeed as a freelancer, generally some kind of work they can do on their own, usually at home, and give the results to the firm who contracted for their services. This is why the corporations like to use them. They're simple, less hassle, and if they can't do the job, there's no lengthy firing process. They just hire the next guy. A good freelancer is good at what he does and gets business by doing good work. He doesn't need any formal credentials, he gets the job done well, which is a good way to be, because you make it or don't based on your abilities. You don't just go to college, get a degree, get a boring job, then pick up a paycheck even if you can't do the job. There are all kinds of freelancers, mainly guys who worked a full-time job in some field somewhere, got tired of it for one reason or another, then decided to hang out a shingle, starting a small business with one employee, themselves, often calling themselves consultants, usually, taking some clients away from the former business they worked for as their core business when they start. Other freelancers are often part-timers. People working a regular job then moonlighting on the side. Hobbyists who enjoy their hobby. Students. Stay-at-home moms. Retirees. Disabled people. Artists, hippies, free spirits. Seasonal freelancers. There is also another class of freelancers, namely people who do it out of necessity. It's very difficult for a lot of people with built-up prestige in their fields to get another job in their field past 50 years old if they lose their job for one reason or another, so a lot of them simply go into business for themselves. Good freelancers have to be independent type people who like working for themselves and can handle the responsibility of running the show themselves, including getting out there soliciting new customers. The big advantage to those who can handle it is freedom, living in your own space as long as you're good enough to the job contracted out to you. Let's say company A comes to you every night with a pile of handwritten memos that have to be typed up and delivered physically to the company mailbox by 8 o'clock the next morning. For that, you get a wage commensurate with the wage of full-time secretary. The only thing is you have to do it at night while everybody else is relaxing or sleeping. For an artist, hippie, mother, etc., this is great. Type up the stuff while you watch TV, then when you're done at 1 o'clock or whenever, drive over to the place and put it in their mailbox. It's not bad if you can find this type of contract. Other freelance jobs are bigger, more like projects. Companies want you to build things for them, design something, research something, etc. The potential for anyone to do this kind of work is out there if you have the reputation for it, which you have to culture as you go along. Many freelancers get started by working part-time as a freelancer while continuing to hold a full-time job. Others have enough talent and confidence in their ability to start out as a freelancer immediately doing whatever it is they love to do as an art form. Many people freelance part-time while still in school. The freelancer develops a set of clients who regularly contract for work at good rates. Some successful freelancers are widely recognized for their skill and often offered good jobs by the companies who hire them. Freelance work may be hard to come by, especially at first, and many freelancers earn very little until they acquire experience and establish a good reputation. Earnings for freelancers vary widely. Those struggling to gain experience and a reputation may be forced to charge what amounts to less than the minimum wage for their work. Well-established freelancers are able to make a very comfortable living. Self-employed freelancers do not receive fringe benefits such as paid holidays, sick leave, health insurance, or pension benefits. It's all about a few important things. Do good quality work and deliver it on time. Live somewhere that there's enough population such that you have the potential to earn a good living. Developing a reputation as a good worker whereby you will get more business through word of mouth. Networking to get your name out there. Join the trade group in your field to get more leads. Get a website presence. Follow the law regarding small home businesses. If you get big enough, start a real company. Hire others. Expand your area of sales/service. Go global on the internet. Try hashtag 658.041 or HD8036 at the library for books about self-employment, home-based businesses, and working for yourself. The IRS definition of independent contractor. The IRS has specific requirements that you must meet in order for you to be considered an independent contractor. Get IRS Publication 1779 Independent Contractor or Employee. The most crucial factors is who controls how the work is done. A true independent contractor is told what the problem is, then he fixes it on his own without being told how or exactly when to do it except for the deadline. Independent contractors must file a Schedule C with their tax return, a form that shows their net income from their business earnings. When a company pays you, they are required to file Form 1099 and you will have to do your own withholding based on these forms. If in doubt about your independent contractor status, the IRS has a procedure where the independent contractor and the employer can submit Form SS8, which asks questions in 4 key areas: behavioral control, financial control, relationship of the worker and the firm, section for salespersons. Based on the responses, the IRS makes a determination as to whether you are an independent contractor or not. Here are the main rules the IRS uses to determine employee versus independent contractor status. Instructions. Employees generally follow instructions about work, contractors are responsible for the final product only. Training. Employees typically receive training via classes and meetings regarding how services are to be performed, contractors educate themselves. Services rendered personally. Employees do the work they're assigned. Contractors can subcontract the work out. Supervision. Most employees are supervised. Contractors are not. Set hours of work. An employee's hours and days are set by the employer, contractors work when they want. Full-time required. An employee works for one employer, contractors probably obey several jobs at the same time. Work on premises. Employers work on the premises of an employer or on a route or site designated by the employer, contractors typically work from their own premises. Manner of payment. Employees are generally paid a regular paycheck. Contractors are paid dependent on completion of the work. Tools and materials. Employers usually furnish tools and materials to employees, contractors have their own stuff. Profit. Employees generally receive no direct profit or loss from work performed. Contractors do. Job security. Employees generally have long-term job security as long as they do the job. Contractors work on a project, then when it's over, they're gone. Employees can quit whenever they want. Contractors are legally bound to finish a job if they've signed a contract to do it. Get IRS Publication 1779 Independent Contractor or Employee. Hiring contractors or employees, big difference in taxes. Simply by switching employees into independent contractors on paper is not enough for the IRS. It's a complicated bureaucracy at its worst. Independent contractors have to be independent of the company and do a specific well-defined job without you over their shoulder controlling their movements. They generally have to work for other clients besides you. If you want to switch from employees to independent contractors, better to get rid of your staff and hire real independent contractors rather than just switching your employees to independent contractors on paper just for a tax dodge. The IRS likes you, an employer, to have employees rather than independent contractors because they get more tax money this way, and it's simple, while independent contractors muddy the water and they have to chase them down for it. Call the IRS office at 800 tax form or go to irs.gov and request its publication 937 on independent contractors to help you determine whether you have employees or contractors. Do you control their daily activities, or do the people that work for you make those decisions themselves? An independent contractor is held responsible only for results. The methods, hours of work, workplace, and tools are under his control, not yours. An independent contractor generally performs services for more than one company. He or she are responsible for her own profits and losses. They are used for specific projects, not as general labor. The more restrictions an employer places on a contractor relationship, the greater the risk that the IRS will see that contractor as an employee. In order to ensure that the relationship is employer-contractor, make up written contractor outsourcing agreements that clearly spell out the specific job being done. You can find sample agreements on the internet and in business/legal software packages. The IRS is very wary about losing money to business owners who circumvent their rules by calling their employees independent contractors. They have a 20-step test to determine whether a worker is a contractor or an employee. Not every guideline is applicable to every situation, and no one factor is decisive. The IRS uses this information to determine what your work relationship is with your employees, then places them in a category, either employees or independent contractors. Refer to IRS Publication 937 called Business Reporting for the full details, some of which are excerpted here from the section Employee or Contractor. 1. Instructions. An employee must comply with instructions about when, where, and how to work. Even if no instructions are given, the employer still has the right to control how work results are achieved. 2. Training. An employee may be trained to perform services in a particular manner. Independent contractors ordinarily use their own methods and receive no training from the purchasers of their services. 3. Integration. An employee's services are usually integrated into the business operations because the services are important to the success or continuation of the business. This shows that the employee is subject to direction and control. 4. Services rendered personally. An employee renders services personally. This shows that the employer is interested in the methods as well as the results. 5. Hiring assistants. An employee works for an employer who hires, supervises, and pays workers. An independent contractor can hire, supervise, and pay assistants under a contract that requires him or her to provide materials and labor and to be responsible only for the result. 6. Continuing relationship. An employee generally has a continuing relationship with an employer. A continuing relationship may exist even if work is performed at recurring although irregular intervals. 7. Set hours of work. An employee usually has set number of hours of work established by an employer. An independent contractor generally can set his or her own work hours. 8. Full-time required. An employee may be required to work or to be available full-time. This indicates control by the employer. An independent contractor can work when and for whom he or she chooses. 9. Work done on the premises. An employee usually works on the premises of an employer's business, or works on a route or at a location designated by an employer. 10. Sequence of work set. An employee may be required to perform services in the order set by an employer. This shows that the employee is subject to direction and control. 11. Reports. An employee may be required to submit reports to an employer. This shows that the employer maintains a degree of control. 12. Payments. An employee is generally paid by the hour, week, or month. An independent contractor is usually paid by the job or on a straight commission. 13. Expenses. An employee's business and travel expenses are generally paid by an employer. This shows that the employee is subject to regulation and control. 14. Tools and materials. An employee is normally furnished significant tools, materials, and other equipment by an employer. 15. Investment. An independent contractor has a significant investment in the facilities he or she uses in performing services for someone else. 16. Profit or loss. An independent contractor can make a profit or suffer a loss. 17. Works for more than one person or firm. An independent contractor is generally free to provide his or her services to two or more unrelated persons or firms at the same time. 18. Offers services to the public. An independent contractor makes his or her services available to the public. 19. Right to fire. An employee can be fired by an employer. An independent contractor cannot be fired so long as he or she produces a result that meets the specifications of the contract. 20. Right to quit. An employee can quit his or her job at any time without incurring liability. An independent contractor usually agrees to complete a specific job and is responsible for its satisfactory completion, or is legally obligated to make good for failure to complete it. The spirit of the rules is that you can have workers on contract provided you give them plenty of leeway in their work. You've got to file a 1099 form for every contractor to whom you pay more than $600 a year at the time of this writing, but I'm sure this minimum fee will change over time. The contractor should have his own liability insurance and worker compensation insurance. In the end, the IRS loves businesses with employees as opposed to contractors because it means more money for them and less hassles. With contractors, the IRS has to go through every 1099 form for every job. With employees, it's just one W-2 form per employee. The 20 questions are ambiguous at best. The IRS has set it up such that they will win virtually all of the time by interpreting these criteria their way, so if you hire contractors, be wary that if the IRS decides they're really employees, they can do an audit, make that finding and stick you with taxes going back all the way to when they started working for you, plus penalties and even possible jail time for tax evasion. They will give you a choice: pay X $1,000 every month or do the time in jail. If you're in doubt, check with an attorney. If you hire independent contractors, don't withhold any money. File Form 1099 Miscellaneous. Provided to worker, and 1096, Summary. Form filed with the IRS, if the amount of funds paid exceed a specified level. Canadian Independent Contractor. In Canada, the situation is one of control. Who has the right to terminate the working relationship? Who owns the tools of production? Who bears the chance for profit or risk of loss? The Canada Customs and Revenue Agency is very meticulous about this worker classification issue. The following are steps to determine the classification of workers as either employees or independent contractors. Control is determining who has the authority to exercise control over the worker on what will be done and the manner in which it will be done. In an employer/employee relationship, the employer directly or indirectly controls the way work is to be done. When a business owner signs a contract with an independent contractor, all he cares about is that he get a good final product for the fee he pays. The method of work is all up to the contractor. An employer determines the salary. An independent contractor sets his fee or negotiates with the client as to the price. An employer has the power to hire and fire workers. Contractors and clients are bound by the contract agreement they came to. An employer sets the time for work. A contractor works when he wants, subject to the final deadline. An employer pays for on-the-job expenses. Contractors contract for one fee and pay for everything else. Employers pay for healthcare, insurance, and pension benefits for their workers. Independent contractors take care of those things on their own. Employers train their workers. Contractors already know their business. Employees stick with one company. Contractors generally work for several all at the same time. The employer provides the workplace and the tools of the trade. The contractor has his own workplace and tools of the trade. Employees generally have to do whatever the boss wants while on his time. A contractor is hired for a specific job, then left alone to do it. An employee answers to his boss for everything while on company time. A contractor is just responsible to do a specific job and that's it. In an employer/employee relationship, the employer generally supplies the tools of the trade and covers the costs related to the usage of the tools, including repairs, insurance, transports, rental, and operation, i.e., fuel. In some trades, the employees supply their own tools, as with car mechanics, painters, carpenters, computer workers, architects, and surveyors. Independent contractors generally supply their own equipment and tools and cover the costs related to their operation. In an employer/employee relationship, the business owner alone assumes the risk of loss. The employee is just a hired gun who gets paid regardless of how the business is doing. An independent contractor works for himself. His pay depends on how many jobs he can hustle, how well he does the work, and the reliability of his clients to pay him. There is no guarantee of a steady paycheck for him. He's a total freelancer. Go to cra.gc.ca, 800-959-8281, to get the complete details. The independent contractor's contract. A contract is the binding agreement between the independent contractor and his or her client. A contract describes several basic points. The services to be performed. How much the contractor will be paid. Manner of payment, down payment, installments contingent upon work done, full fee on completion of the job. Deadline for the completion of work. Conditions of quality, standards. If there are any problems about the job performance, payment by the client, or termination of the contractor, the contract should spell out all the contingencies in any of these cases when the contract was made up, negotiated, and signed. Have a thorough contract ready. Give it to the client to read. If he doesn't like it, he can walk away. Otherwise, if he signs, he's legally bound by it. If he challenges the quality of your work, you've got proven ability by getting references from satisfied customers claiming you're good at your trade. A contract should include terms on the termination of the working relationship. A contract binds the contractor to the job at the set fee, and if he quits, that's grounds for a civil lawsuit regarding breach of contract. Both independent contractors and business owners, clients, have their own standard business contracts. You choose to work with one which the other person will modify, then you will negotiate or start from scratch and make up an original contract based on negotiations. Make sure it is read and signed by both parties before you start the work. It's a good idea to ask for a down payment which tells you the client is serious about getting the job done. If you don't, by the time you get the work done, some of your clients will no longer want it, then you're stuck with it without any enumeration, and to take the guy to court is often a hassle not worth the several $100s the contract cost you in default of payment. In the case of a long-distance working relationship, email, fax, and contracts by mail are fine as long as both sides sign it. Make a copy for the client while you keep the original with the signatures on it. You could buy generic contract software or get one off the internet and make your own contract from it, or go to a contract lawyer to make up a contract specific to your business. If you're dealing with large contracts for lots of money, hire a contract lawyer to analyze it and modify it to suit your ends. Independent contractor resources. When looking for contracts on the internet, some places want you to bid on it, others want to see your resume, examples of your work, and talk to you before they hire you. Most companies will typically hire a new independent contractor with a small job to test him to see how good he is, and if they're happy with the work, they will keep coming back to this guy or gal. mycounsel.com/content/smbusiness/employment-law. nalo.com/category/IC_home.html?T=0030LFNAV032020000 Independent Contractors Legal Information. www.ebtax.com/miscellaneous/self_employment_tax.htm General information about freelancing. ants.com. aquent.com. asdinc.com/htmdocs/flyers/tex. bellicose.com/freelance. bid4geeks.com. careerpath.com. cehandbook.com, Contract Employees Handbook. ceweekly.wa.com, Contract Employment Weekly. contractjobs.com. courtneyusa.com/recar_tech support.htm. elance.com. eurk.com. eurkexchange.com. fastcompany.com/online/freeagenti.html. freeagenti.com. freeagentination.com. freelanceonline.com. freelanceonline.com/jobsavail. freelancers.com. freesohojobs.com, home office jobs. freetimejobs.com. ghgcorp.com/cfr. gofeedback.com, do surveys, mystery shop. guru.com. homeworkers.org. icplanet.com. inkspot.com/market/jobs, writer jobs. investigativemarketing.com, do surveys, mystery shop. iquest.net/cw/vc. jobs.cnet.com/main/postjobs_m.jsp, computer jobs. jobs-ct.com/itech. johnnies.freeyellow.com, do surveys, mystery shop, merchandising jobs. manpowernet.com. masterfreelancer.com. monster.com. oasisnet.com. outsourcing.com. positionwatch.com/high-tech-jobs, mostly Canada. retailmysteryshoppers.com, do surveys, mystery shop. sba.gov. secondtonone.com, do surveys, mystery shop. secretshop.net, do surveys, mystery shop. skWriters.com, writers. smarterwork.com. step4.com/jobs. step4.com/jobs/HR-free. talentmarket.com. talentnet.com. talentmarket.monster.com. technicalwriterjobs.com. tjobs.com. webussers.inet-stl.com/tilde-cheng/tayjob. well.com. wisepersonnel.com. womans-work.com. work4you.com. workaholics4hire.com. workexchange.com. workingzolo.com. writerswrite.com. writerswrite.com/greeting cards. Editorial Freelancers Association. 71 West 23rd Street. Number 1504. NYC 10010. 212-929-5400. DFA.org. Freelancers over 50. 99 First Street. Cambridge, Massachusetts 02141. 617-354-4102. National Association of Temporary and Staffing Services. 119 St. Asaph St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-549-6287. natsess.com. General information. Law forms websites / legal forms websites / government forms websites. Some websites offer free legal forms, some charge money. fedforms.gov. fedforms.com, find any federal form here. allaboutforms.com, all about forms. onestoplegal.com. accesslegalforms.com. agreementsetcetera.com. allattorney.info/legal forms. allbusiness.com. allbusiness.com/forms/forms_index.asp. allah.com/forms. americanlegalnet.com. apl.org/quick/forms.html. appreciationcertificate.com/blanklegalforms.htm. articleinsider.com/article/28291. articleinsider.com/article/28293, fill in the blank legal forms. asaplegalforms.com. barefootwhitepapers.com/blank wyominglegaldocuments.html. bloomberg.com/forms/index.html. canadalegal.com/forms. catalw.com/topics/forms.shtml. cbp.gov/xp/cgov/toolbox/forms, US Customs. cms.hhs.gov/cms-forms, US HHS, CMS. co.clark.nv.us/law_library/forms page.htm. constructionbusinessforms.com. constructionresources.net, blank legal forms for contractors. consumeraffairs.com/forms/use_forms.html. consumerworld.org/pages/resource.htm. contractcentral.com. copyright.gov/forms, copyright. courttv.com/legalhelp/business/forms. cowderiesforms.com/index.html. crownlist.com. damonlegal.com/link_to_forms.htm. directives.doe.gov/forms, do. document-do-it-yourself-service.com. documents.legal.sr. docupro.net. doityourselfdocuments.com. doityourselfdocuments.com/business. dol.gov/esa/reg/compliance/aucp/forms.htm, US Department of Labor. dtic.mil/whs/directives/info-mgt/forms/forms-program.htm, dod. easylegalforms.com. ed.gov/fund/grant/apply/appforms/appforms.html, ed.gov grants and contracts. eformsonline.com. easylegal.com, 800-822-4566. easylegalfile.org. faa.gov/library/forms, FAA. fcc.gov/formpage.html, FCC. fda.gov/opacom/more-choices/fda forms/fda forms.html, FDA. fdic.gov/regulations/laws/forms/index.html, FDIC. fedpubs.com. findforms.com. fleischerlawoffice.com/package_bdf.html. findlaw.com/16forms. Links to sites with collections of legal forms. findlaw.com/16forms/index.html, law forms. findlegalforms.com. findlegalforms.com. firethelawyer.com. forms.bz. Forms.gov. Forms.justia.com. Forms.lawguru.com. Forms.lp.findlaw.com, Find Law. Forms.lp.findlaw.com, Legal Forms. Forms.sc.gov.usda.gov/eforms/mainservlet, USDA. Forms4law.com. Formsguru.com. Formslegal.net. Formsworkflow.com. Fosterlawforms.com. Freebusinessforms.com. Free Legal Advice LegalFormsService.com. HaldickKler.com. FreeLegalDocs.com. gdataSys.com/freeblanklegaldocuments.html. GetFreeLegalForms.com. GiveAwayLegalForms.com. GotLegalHelp.com/abarticle/blanklegalform. Grants.nih.gov/grants/forms.htm, NIH. gsionline.com/libgar/sec/blankforms.html, blank forms for the Securities and Exchange Commission. HilaWforms.com. HomeBusinessOnline.com/r/e-library/legal/index. Hometown.aol.com/flattorney/legalforms.html. Hometown.aol.com/flattorney/page5.html, family and divorce forms. hrlawinfo.com. hudclips.org/sub_non-hud/html/forms.htm, hudclips. idmsinc.com/formslistitems.php. ilrg.com/forms. ilrg.com/forms. ilrg.com/forms/confidagree.html. infoproforms.com/index.html, all 50 states. irs.gov/formspub/index.html, IRS. Keyinfosource.com. law.net/USA law, free fill in the blanks online legal documents. lawcheck.com/resources/forms/blank.htm. lawcheck.net/resources/forms/blank. lawcheck.net/resources/forms/index.htm. lawdepot.com. 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 lawguru.com. lawguru.com/legalforms. lawhost.com/forms.html. lawlizard.com. lawofficesuperstore.com. lawworkshop.com. lawsmart.com. lectlaw.com/form.html, lectlaw. lectlaw.com/forma.htm. legacywriter.com. legal.lcwlaw.info/legal/free-legalforms.html. legalandbusinessforms.info. legaldocs.com. legalformsarchive.com. legalformsbank.biz. legalformsgallery.com. businessformsstore.com. legalformskit.com. legalformsonline.org. legalformsupermarket.com. legalformstoolbox.com. legalformsweb.com. legalhelper.net. legalhelper.org. legalhelpmate.com. legalhelprightnow.org. legalhomeforms.com. legalmessenger.com. legalranks.com. illegalways.com. legalzoom.com. letting.com/legalforms.htm. lib.lsu.edu/govdocs/taxes.html. Federal and state tax forms. medlawplus.com. medlawplus.com/legalforms. megadocs.com. mpa.org/copyright_resource_center/forms. myaziforms.com. nationaldirect.net. nationallawforms.com. nebs.com. needlegalforms.org. wilsonline.com. netsmartincture.com, legal forms, etc. Nalo.com, 800-728-3555. nrc.gov/reading-rm/doc-collection/forms, nrc. okdui.com/link/asap legal forms. onlinelegalcenter.com. opm.gov/forms, narrow, Office of Personnel Management. orps.state.ny.us/ref/forms/index.cfm. oc.doc.gov/forms. proforce.net. profpub.com. pro-legal-forms.com. rapidlaw.net. ptla.org/forms/blank.htm. quickdivorce.com. realdealdocs.com. resources.lawinfo.com/index.cfm. rmis.com/site/legforms.htm. rmis.rmfamily.com/db/formbus.php. rmis.rmfamily.com/db/tempcontract.php. rocketlawyer.com, free forms. sampati.com/essential_info/country/legal/index. sba.gov/library/forms.html, SBA. scottrade.com/formcenter. sec.gov/edgar.shtml, SEC. smartformz.com. socrates.com. sbhinxlegal.com. ssa.gov/online, Social Security. standardlegal.com. standardlegal.net. taxadmin.org/fta/link/forms.html, state tax forms. thebusinessllibrary.com/site/legalforms.php. travel.state.gov/visas/forms/forms_1342.html, a State Department, visa. treasury.gov/offices/enforcement/office/forms, US Treasury. universalservice.org/sl/tools/required-forms.aspx, USAC. urgentbusinessforms.com. urgentbusinessforms.com/legal. uscis.gov/graphics/forms/fee/forms, immigration. uscourtforms.com. uscourts.gov/bkforms, uscourt, bankruptcy. uslegalforms.com. va.gov/vaforms. vendorseek.com. wcfls.lib.wi.us/newberlin/refonline/forms.htm. webtradacenterbookstore.com/bookstore/legalforms.html. webtradacenterlegalforms.com. west.net/4guy/forms.htm, free legal forms. whitehouse.gov/omb/grants/grants_forms.html, OMB, grants. wilegalblank.com, Wisconsin Legal Blank Co., Inc. 800-890-6890. winlegal.com, do-it-yourself legal kits. wlbforms.com, Washington State Forms, legal forms. wsll.state.wi.us/y4ms.html, Wisconsin State Law Library legal forms. marmalade.com/article/contract_details.html, freelance design. Contracts explained. Desktop hub. Dead website, try.dash.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com/cs/freelance/is/contracts.htm, never work without a freelance design contract. thoughtco.com/graphic-design-4133467. graphic-design.com/dtp-resources/requests/agree.html. Letter of agreement. morebusiness.com/templates_worksheets/samples/at-agency.brc. Sample advertising agency contract form. roostergraphics.com/admin/form/fgraphdesign.html. Rooster Graphics Contract Graphic Design Agreement. creativelatitude.com/articles/articles_g_contracts.html. Contract Guide, getting the client to sign on the dotted line. ecommerceattorney.com/webcontract.html, create a watertight web site design contract. yvonnehoffman.com/project.html, taking over a website design project and the contract/agreement to go with this job change. allbusiness.com/articles/788-15551-1777.html. Contract/agreement drafting and negotiating. creativepublic.com. Forms, contracts, pricing guides. allfreelancework.com/artclicreal5.php, developing a contract. As a service provider. himels-computer-law.com/kbasics.htm, fundamentals of contracts/agreements. provider.com/contracts.htm. Get ideas for your client contracts. homebusinessonline.com/r/e-library/legal/index.html. Home Business Online Legal Forms. freelancebank.com/resource.asp?id=14114, sample. Contract, Freelance Bank. morebusiness.com/templates_worksheet/samples. Sample business agreements. businessweek.com/smallbiz/lifestage/tools.htm. businessdown.com/legal/contracts-overview.asp. nalo.com. adcmw.org/about/work_for_hire.html, work for hire agreements. envision-sbs.com, business in a box. dgcontracts.com, contract maker. dgcontracts.com, digital contracts. tc.eserver.org/dir/careers/freelance/contracts. findlaw.com/16forms/index.html. law/sponsors/usa law/public_html, legal documents. businessdown.com/legal/contracts-advice.asp, streetwise tips on contracts. Chapter 2. Self-employment taxes. Home business taxes 1. The basic way you pay income taxes in a home business is the same as with any other business. Chances are you're a sole proprietorship, so you pay the business taxes through your personal tax return done on Form 1040. If you work a job and have a part-time business at home, you still fill out Form 1040 using your income from both sources. In order to file for a home office deduction, you must fill out Form 8829, expenses for business use of your home. In addition, get the following booklets. irs.gov. 800-829-3676. Tax Guide for Small Business, number 334. Travel, Entertainment, Gift, and Car Expenses. Number 463. Record Keeping for a Small Business, number 583. Business Use of Your Home, number 587. The two most basic rules to take deductions for a home office are: the regular and exclusive rule, which you must meet in order to take the deduction. A part of your home must be used regularly and exclusively for business. It can't be used sporadically or mixed in with the rec room. It's used for business only and used a lot. The principal place of business. In addition to the regular and exclusive requirement, your home business or office must meet at least one of the following three requirements. The office must be your principal place of business as defined by the IRS, which says it must be the most important, consequential, or influential location. The office must be used regularly for business. The office must be the sole fixed location from where you operate most of your administrative and managerial activities for the business. Tax deductions, which were once one of the beauties of engaging in a home business, are not what they used to be. To be eligible for business-related deductions today, you must use that part of your home claimed exclusively and regularly as either the principal location of your business or the place reserved to meet patients, clients, or customers. If you use your den or a spare bedroom as the principal place of business, working there from 8 to 5 o'clock every day but permit your children to watch TV in that room during the evening hours, the IRS dictates that you cannot claim a deduction for that room as your office or place of business. There are, however, a couple of exceptions to the exclusive use rule. One is the storage of inventory in your home where your home is the location of your trade or business. According to the IRS, such storage space must be used on a regular basis and be a separately identifiable space. Another exception applies to daycare services that are provided for children, the elderly or physically or mentally handicapped. This exception applies only if the owner of the facility complies with the state laws for licensing. Tax deductions for a home office or home business are somewhat convoluted. Generally, the concept behind it is that any space that you use to conduct your business plus all the expenses and maintenance it takes to keep that space operational are valid tax deductions, but there are specific rules you must follow. This is the standard way to do it for all types of businesses except for the C corporation, which home office tax deduction rules do not apply to. A C corporation owner who works out of his or her home can deduct their home office expenses in one of two ways. Take a personal tax deduction as an employee business expense. Itemize these deductions on Schedule A of the Form 1040. Lease the home office to the corporation. Receive rental income from the corporation which you report as income on your personal tax return. To be eligible for business deductions, your business must be an activity undertaken with the intent of making a profit. It's presumed you meet this requirement if your business makes a profit in any 2 years of a 5-year period. Once you are this far along, you can deduct business expenses such as supplies, subscriptions to professional journals, and an allowance for the business use of your car or truck. You can also claim deductions for home-related business expenses such as utilities and in some cases even a new paint job for your home. The IRS is going to treat the part of your home you use for business as though it were a separate piece of property. This means that you'll have to keep good records and take care not to mix business and personal matters. No specific method of record keeping is required, but your records must clearly justify any deductions you claim. You can begin by calculating what percentage of the house is used for business, either by number of rooms or by area in square footage. Thus, if you use 1 of 5 rooms for your business, the business portion is 20%. If you run your business out of a room that's 10 by 12 feet and the total area of your home is 1,200 square feet, the business space factor is 10%. An extra computation is required if your business is a home daycare center. This is one of the exempted activities in which the exclusive use rule doesn't apply. Check with your tax preparer and the IRS for an exact determination. If you're a renter, you can deduct the part of your rent which is attributable to the business share of your house or apartment. Homeowners can take a deduction based on the depreciation of the business portion of their house. There is a limit to the amount you can deduct. This is the amount equal to the gross income generated by the business, minus those home expenses you could deduct even if you weren't operating a business from your home. As an example, real estate taxes and mortgage interest are deductible regardless of any business activity in your home, so you must subtract from your business gross income the percentage that's allocable to the business portion of your home. You thus arrive at the maximum amount for home-related business deductions. If you are self-employed, you claim your business deductions on Schedule C, profit or loss, for business or profession. The IRS emphasizes that claiming business-at-home deductions does not automatically trigger an audit of your tax return. Even so, it is always wise to keep meticulous records within the proper guidelines and of course keep detailed records if you claim business-related expenses when you are working out of your home. You should discuss this aspect of your operation with your tax preparer or a person qualified in the field of small business tax requirements. If your business earnings aren't subject to withholding tax and your estimated federal taxes are $100 or more, you'll probably be filing a Declaration of Estimated Tax, Form 1040-ES. To complete this form, you will have to estimate your income for the coming year and also make a computation of the income tax and self-employment tax you will owe. The self-employment taxes pay for Social Security coverage. If you have a salaried job covered by Social Security, the self-employment tax applies only to the amount of your home business income that, when added to your salary, reaches the current ceiling. When you file your Form 1040-ES, which is due April 15, you must make the first of 4 equal installment payments on your estimated tax bill. A good way to trim your taxes is by setting up a KIA plan or an individual retirement account. With either of these, you can shelter some of your home business income from taxes by investing it for your retirement. One disadvantage of being self-employed is not having health and disability insurance. You may also need liability insurance. Your homeowner's insurance covers your belongings in your home, but it may not cover all business inventory and equipment. Check with your insurance agent to make sure you have the right coverage. If you're selling something, you may need a vendor's license and be required to collect state sales taxes on your transactions. The sales tax requirement would result in the need for careful record keeping. Generally, the deductions you can take as a home business owner on your federal IRS taxes are as follows: a percentage of rent on the home or a percentage of depreciation if you own the home. A percentage of all home expenses used in the business, such as electricity, water, telephone, internet, garbage pickup, property taxes, mortgage interest, and insurance, and even minor repairs. Major repairs go under depreciation. The percentage is either the percentage of square footage of your house used for business or can be calculated by using the number of rooms used in the business as the percentage of rooms in the entire house. Home business insurance. Office machines. Furniture. Equipment. Cleaning and decorating expenses. You cannot deduct the first telephone line into your home as a tax deduction no matter what. You can deduct special business equipment, long-distance business calls, and a second line, but not the first line. You can deduct the costs of using your vehicle for business, either the actual expenses or a flat rate of X number of cents per mile, with the rate changing every year or so. In the end, taking the home office deduction will not increase your chances for an audit, but if your income is low and deductions high, it's a red flag to a suspicious IRS that you're trying to cheat them. Home business taxes too. The IRS looks on home offices and home businesses as big red flags because they know that many people will try to claim personal expenses as the costs of doing business, which is why they have complicated rules about home business tax deductions. You can deduct part of your housing expenses if they meet one of 3 important criteria set down by the IRS to determine whether your home office is a real business expense or just a cover for a tax dodge. 1. Your home office should be a place where clients, customers, and business associates meet on a regular basis. 2. You should be using your home office to conduct business only, nothing else. Don't even use it as a laundry room. The IRS asks specifically if the home office is the principal place of business, which means that if you're spending less than half of your working hours there, you probably can't take the deductions. 3. If your home office is located in a separate building, even if you work fewer than 3 days at home, it will be easier to take the deductions on that separate building and the equipment in it than if it was located in the house, because it's clearly separate from the house. This is why garages make good home offices. You can even take deductions on the costs to make it into a home office, all the way down to insulation. These 3 guidelines are subject to interpretation and not laid in stone. If you're in doubt, contact your accountant, lawyer, or the IRS directly. Get IRS publication number 587, Business Use of Your Home. If you decide to take a deduction for a home business, you have to fill out IRS Form 8829, which is an automatic red flag to the IRS gang. A lot of people don't take the deduction even though they're entitled to it because they want to avoid getting caught on the radar for an audit. Generally, if you work at home and conduct your full-time small business there, the IRS will let it go, but if you work a job for someone else and keep a part-time home business which constantly registers losses, that's the real red flag. You'll have to verify your write-offs with meticulous records and prove that you actively pursued new customers for your sideline business. If you have expenses that are partly business and partly personal, as with many parts of a home business, you must separate the personal part from the business part and keep records to support your deductions. For your home business, you can deduct a percentage of your total personal household expenses, rent, utilities, insurance, water, and taxes, equal to the amount of space that your business takes up in your home. The Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997 has given home business owners some tax advantages. If you base your business but often leave the home to do your business, as with a plumber, you can claim home office deductions as long as the home office is regularly used to perform your administrative functions, as long as there is no other fixed location where these functions are done. Refer to IRS Publication Number 587, Business Use of Your Home. Home Office Taxes. If your business qualifies to use the home as a business expense, you will use Form 8829, Expenses for Business Use of Your Home, in addition to Form 1040 and Schedule C when you file your taxes. For the business of your car, request Business Use of a Car, Publication 917 from the IRS. Contact the IRS, irs.gov, 800-829-3676 for the following publications. Your Federal Income Tax, Publication 17. Employer's Tax Guide, Circular E. Tax Guide for Small Business, Publication 334. Tax Withholding and Estimated Tax, Publication 505. Self-Employment Tax, Publication 533. Business Expenses, Publication 535. Retirement Plans for the Self-Employed, Publication 560. Taxpayers Starting a Business, Publication 583. Business Use of Your Home, Publication 587. Guide to Free Tax Services, Publication 910. Your state probably has a guidebook for filing state business taxes. For home office businesses, you can deduct property taxes, mortgage interest, utilities, repairs, and a percentage of the depreciation. To take the deduction, the office must meet at least one of the following requirements. 1. Your home office is the primary office for your business and you do not have another office in the same city or area. You can't claim a deduction if you're a realtor or professional with another office, or if you have office space elsewhere. Teachers cannot claim office space. 2. You see clients or patients regularly in your home. 3. You take care of children in your home. 4. You conduct business for your multilevel marketing business. 5. You have a home office which is the primary office used on behalf of your employer. 6. You rent out a room or several rooms to tenants. Furthermore, the office must be used regularly and must have other uses like storage or recreation. You can deduct expenses like utilities and mortgage on the home office space either by dividing the number of rooms in the house or the square footage of the house by the amount used for the home office space. Get IRS Booklet 334. Tax Guide for Small Business for the exact formula. Even if you work for someone, you can deduct a home office if it's used for work. Self-employment tax websites. irs.gov/prod/tax_edu/teletax. 1040.com. advocachy.nace.org/issue_brief/taxonhealthpremiums.asp. chucksloan.com/self%20employed.htm. dinkytown.net/java/taxes-self-employment.html. eChicagoWeb.com/bm/html/advantax/selfampl.htm. egov.oregon.gov/door/bus/ic-102-406.shtml, Taxes Oregon. ehow.com/how_12344_calculate-self-employment.html. finance.cch.com/soho-applet/taxes-self-employment.asp. firstgov.gov/business/self_employed.shtml. hmrc.gov.uk/self-employed, British Tax Office, general advice about SE. hrblock.com/taxes/tools/se_calc. irs.gov/businesses/small. irs.gov/businesses/small/article/0, ID=98846,00.html, self-employment tax. irs.gov/businesses/small/index.html. irs.gov/prod/tax_edu/teletax. law.gov/uscode/html/uscode26/USC_SEC_26/0000000-000-000-000-.html. quicken.com/cms/viewers/articles/taxes/55621. sba.gov/starting_business/taxes/self.html. ssa.gov/pub/10022.html, Social Security. ssa.gov/self-employed.htm. taxsites.com/topics/self-employment.html. taxdalk.nace.org/taxdalk/segeneral.asp. tenens.com/website_all0/html/advantax/selfampl.htm. thesite.org/work-and-study/working/self-employed/taxa-and-self-employment. turbotax.com/articles/these11employment-tax.html. wpgcpa.com/html/advantax/selfampl.asp. www.ebtax.com/miscellaneous/self_employment_tax.htm.